right then, back again for the Cat C change. And then I realized that, I did this exact same bike pretty much about the same time last year. This poor guy kills a motor a year. And it's just because of a little lack of maintenance, but he keeps replacing motors. I'm not saying that maintenance is gonna keep it alive forever, but there's his replacement stuff. And that's what we're gonna do here this afternoon. I have to shut that door. It's a little bright there, isn't it? But anyway, as we can see that he doesn't run his air cleaner, which is a big no-no. Rocks and gravel and just anything can get in there and pretty much kill your cylinder and lock your bike up immediately. So that's a bad idea. But he's been telling me he's been shooting starting fluid in it to get it to run. That is a sure sign of your motor is getting wore out, is that you have to prime it with some ether, which is what starting fluid is, and to get it to fire up. And then also I noticed that we have a lovely hole in the side of the case for the gear assembly in there that protects it. There is a screw right dead in the center of your drive gear that holds your drive gear to the crankshaft end. This one is magically, and it happens every once in a while. I've seen it before, not quite all the way to where it ate a hole through the case and fell out on the street, but I have seen them work loose, and a little Loctite and a little tightening usually takes care of that. But he had no idea that this happened, and I don't understand that because it had to make an ungodly noise with a bolt grinding on a aluminum alloy cover. I mean, it didn't do it in like 30 seconds or whatever. That had to go on for a little bit before it completely ate a hole in the side of the case. But nonetheless, there it is. I just thought I would share that because that is really, really letting your bike go, if you will, on the maintenance scenario. Also, the old chain has never been adjusted, probably since brand new. And if you own one of these bikes, unfortunately, you have to do a little maintenance from time to time. It doesn't guarantee that you're 100% not going to break down, but if you have your bike for a while and it starts changing sounds, you might want to look into that and save yourself some aggravation. Like this could have been saved by, my God, what is that grinding sound? Take a moment out of your day, take the cover loose, see if there's anything loose flopping around in there. Even if you're not super mechanically inclined, little things like this, pretty much explain themselves. And it could have been tightened up, a little Loctite put on there. Even if you didn't put Loctite on it, tightening it back up so it's not grinding against the case at the very minimal is a good idea. But having said all that, we're going to pull the motor off this bike, put the new motor on it, put a new chain on it, get it adjusted, and I'm pretty sure he's never going to touch it for pretty much about another year till he brings it back to get another motor on it, unfortunately. So, having said all that, I'm going to get this thing changed out. Okay, got everything buttoned up. The new motor is installed. Wires are back in their harness. Brackets are tight. Rear bracket's tight. I do have to change out that rear idler pulley because his pulley is really in bad shape, so we're not going to fool with that. But I did think before I finished my last step, it's just something I do with second naturally, but it is a good idea for every person to do that has built a new bicycle and hasn't started it yet, just like this here particular engine. Hasn't seen any gas or oil yet. So what I personally do, after checking all the nuts and bolts of the motor, because you can't trust the factory to have them all tight, that is a FYI. But what I do is I have a really lightweight oil in my little bottle with my little, tentacle here. And I put a few drops of oil on my cylinder wall. I reach around with it. I can't do it while I'm doing the video, but you get the idea. I drip or drop here and there. You don't have to squeeze it all crazy like in there. There's a few drops or a little dab will do you, if you will. And then I roll the wheel over and make the engine turn over, which brings Mr. Cylinder going up and, well, Mr. Piston and rings going up and down. And this way it is pre-lubed before you go out and try to start it. You can't trust that the factory lubed it adequately before you go out there putting gasoline and a hard, rapid pace of piston up and down in the cylinder all dry. At least this way it has a little lubrication. And believe it or not, for your very first fire up, it does help it start easier because the little film of oil in there seals the rings to the cylinder at that particular time, gives you a little extra compression, and it starts a little easier also, I have found in the past. But other than that, I'm going to finish buttoning this up, and then we're going to get it outside and see if she fires up for the first time. All right, that's enough commenting about the bike. All right, we're back. Orville Tim is going to be the first to test her out. You'll see Tim in our future videos. This was all abrupt. All right, instead of a dead silence, we got to figure out why he doesn't know the combination on getting this thing fired up. Should have fired up way before he got down there. There we go. Well, you'll probably have to choke it a little bit because it is brand new. Not all the way. Up and just a little bit off with the choke and she'll go. My man has pedaled way too much, way too much. I mean, the bike has started, but if you get your choke all the way up and then just bring it down just a smidgen when they're brand new, just like that motor is, obviously, they need that to get used to running, if you will. Break in a smidgen, if you will. But if you don't, then you pedal up and down the alley like Tim's doing. There we go. There we go. You can't take the choke all the way off, Tim, but yeah, as long as it stays running, I guess. Oh, he killed it. Killed it at the end of the alley. Gonna have to go through that again. Here he comes. All right, we're chugging again. There we go. All right, thumbs up. All right. We got it alive. All right, it lives. Are you going to take a friendly neighborhood ride with that? All right, then.
If you want me to go around the block, I will.
Well, yeah, if you're not all tuckered out. Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting a couple blocks on the motor or whatever other than just fire. I mean, I wanted to see it fire up, don't get me wrong, but that was the main point. But yeah, take her for a little couple block ride and see how it does. All right, he's, well, gone. All right, we'll wrap this up when he gets back, I guess. All right, our pilot, not co-pilot, has returned and said it runs just fine. So we're going to call the guy and see if he wants to come get his bike or not. We got to thank our pilot there for taking that for a ride because I get tired of riding them things. So he took the bullet this time. All right, well, thanks for watching, and hopefully our next video will be us out actually riding the bikes and enjoying them instead of fixing them.